Good day, everyone. My name is Ashawnté and I am a regional epidemiologist, and today I'm here to offer a better understanding of the microbial disease that is currently spreading amongst CARICOM countries. I'm here to talk to you about the current tuberculosis outbreak and what we as individuals can do in order to reduce transmission, infection, and better our chances of survival during this unfortunate pandemic we find ourselves in. Tuberculosis continues to present a severe public health problem against the CARICOM countries to this day, and it has been found that there has been a significant rise in cases and exposures across this selective grouping of people. To better control the outbreak and exposure, one must first come to understand what tuberculosis, otherwise known by the terminology TB, actually is, what causes it, how it spreads, and what can be done to prevent exposure. Let's get started. So what exactly is tuberculosis? Tuberculosis is a bacterial infection that is spread through the inhaling of tiny droplets from the coughs or sneezes of an infected person. It is caused by a bacterium called Mycobacterium tuberculosis. This bacteria usually attacks the lungs. However, for record's sake, TB bacteria can attack any part of the body, such as the kidneys, the spine, and the brain. With respect to this pandemic, pulmonary tuberculosis has been the most notable case of infection within the region. When considering transmission, tuberculosis is spread through the air from one person to another. The germs associated with tuberculosis pass through the air when someone who is sick with pulmonary TB tends to cough, speak, laugh, sing, or sneeze. The reality is, anyone near that specific person can breathe in the germs and host them in their lungs. TB germs can live in your body without making you sick. In this case, this form of transmission is called latent TB infection. This essentially means that you only have the inactive or sleeping TB germs in your body. And in the inactive state, these germs cannot be passed on to anyone else. Unfortunately, if these germs were to wake up or become active in your body, they can multiply, and you more than likely will end up with tuberculosis disease. It is when tuberculosis is active and multiplying in your body that these germs can attack your lungs and potentially make their way to other parts of the body, such as the kidney, the brain, or the spine. This disease will make you sick, and people with TB may tend to spread the germs to people they spend time with every day. When looking at symptoms, the general symptoms of tuberculosis disease include feelings of sickness or weakness, weight loss, fever, and night sweats. The symptoms of TB disease of the lungs also include coughing, chest pain, and the coughing up of blood. It must be noted that in the cases of latent TB, there really are no symptoms that will show. This is scary. However, there are treatment options available for individuals who find themselves with either latent TB or TB disease. In the cases of those experiencing latent TB infection, there is usually a combination of drugs that are administered. These usually entail isoniazid, rifampin, and rifampicin. These medications are either used on their own or in a combination, and it's usually done according to the CDC and the National Tuberculosis Controllers Association's guide for preferably recommended short-course cocktail treatment. It's either administered in the form of 3 months of once-weekly isoniazid plus rifampicin, or 4 months of the daily rifampin. There is also the option for 3 months of a daily isoniazid plus rifampin dosage. When treating full-blown TB disease, there is an intensive phase of 2 months, followed by a continuation phase of either 4 or 7 months, for a total of 6 to 9 months for treatment. Considering what happened worldwide in 2018, this treatment regime proved successful in the rate of TB patients, as 59% of the individuals did see progress. However, in the same year, about 1.7 billion people were affected by TB bacteria. This is roughly 23% of the world's population. This does show that this disease can kickstart a longer-term pandemic, and it is the leading infectious disease killer in the world, claiming 1.5 million lives each year. The goal truly is prevention, as this is key, and additional ways in which you can stay safe during this pandemic would be through vaccination. Though the Bacille Climate Growin is a vaccine for tuberculosis disease, it is not usually or widely used in the United States, but it is often given to infants and small children in other countries where TB is common. This can prove beneficial to the CARICOM countries. It must be noted, though, that this vaccine does not always protect people from getting TB, but it does offer some protection. Tuberculosis is a dangerous microbial disease that is present in the CARICOM countries. It poses a threat to you and your family, and if not prevented or treated correctly, it can have detrimental effects. Acquiring tuberculosis is not a death sentence. There are comprehensive treatment plans. I do recommend that you try your best to stay safe, to stay informed, and to stay educated. These messages were presented to you by our most generous sponsors and organizational beneficiaries. Once again, my name is Ashawnté, and it has been a pleasure.